Hello everybody, welcome back to Greg Tech New Horizons. I hope that you're ready for another episode. Now, I wanted to have this one be a little bit more structured than last. Last episode, we a certain explosion that was no one's fault, sort of took the episode out of order. Now, let me look at the quest book real quick and let's talk about what we need to do. Okay, now remembering from last episode, the biggest thing that I need to do is actually start oil processing. Now, all of the oil processing is going to be on this side of the base, and I'm not sure how that's going to work for how I have been having the base set up. I think that this will probably all be moved. I need to get into crop farming via the crop manager. That'll be one of the big things we want to do this episode, but that is pretty much the biggest items that I have. But let's just talk about what we need to actually bring the oil over here. So for us to get oil, we need the I think it's the long distance one. Okay, this is the one that we need. We need the long distance fluid pipeline. Now we need this one. So let's first of all get rid of all of this. And then we also need this piping. So it's a bunch of steel, which shouldn't be too difficult, but I need, I believe, 96-ish. If we need to make more, that's not a huge deal. Again, it's only, I mean, that's not that much steel if you look at it. And then I'm going to favorite that one and that one. And I will redo these. Oh wait, I need to favorite that. Let me favorite everything. Okay, so that's a decent amount of steel. But that should be good. I'm not that worried about that. Okay, let's do our other side and boom, there they are. Okay, so we've got both sides of the long distance fluid pipeline. I haven't done this in a while, so I don't exactly remember how it works. Well, we're gonna start off from the other side. So let me get over there real quick and we will make sure that we can pipe everything, shall we? Okay, so I've dug all the way over here. I realized something. Oh no, wait, that is fine. Okay. I wasn't sure that I was mining on the right Y level. And I was a little worried that I'd have to like go up a floor. Okay, we go out a little bit. What I might do is I might just push this into the full size of the chunk eventually. And then this will just be for distillation. But we'll do that. All right. And then let's go over to the other side. Okay, there we go. I had to set it so that this was, oh, can I not? Ah, there we go. Now we should be able to do that. And then we can we'll probably just put a pot and pipe right there. And we'll have it auto extract. Now, the only other problem that we have is that we need to ensure that our good old pipes our basic pump is being powered. So let's put all that in there. There's two ways that we can do this. One of them is a bit more efficient than the other. I'm leaning towards being more efficient with it, but we'll see how lazy I'm feeling by the end of this. So what I'm thinking is that we have two, no, I don't know. What I might do is I might just do a combustion generator and a tiny pot and pipe that just comes all the way from over here via our underground tunnel. And it'll just come out through here. That's what I'm thinking. That'll probably be the easiest way to do it because it doesn't have to be fully saturated 24/7. So that'll probably be the easiest. So that's probably what we'll do. And then I need to do oh no, wait, no. So we need a distillery and, well, first of all, let's set up the infrastructure for this to actually work, shall we? That'll be smarter than just getting everything and not having a way to actually get all of our stuff over there. Oh, I just got the, oh my goodness. Just got the achievement. Okay, this should be right about center. Because it's 16 by 16, it's actually a little lopsided. So instead, I decided to have this side be the short side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one is just a full 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there we go. So this will give us plenty of room to mess with distilleries and everything. All right, here we go. And I do have a little bit of a kink in the line. What I'm thinking I might do is actually put this. No, I don't think I'll ever have to go take steam that way, so I'm not going to worry about it. But we are going to do a potting line all the way this way. And I think that until I have anything else that requires steam, I think this one will just be the large ones, because I'd like to save a little bit of it. I know I'm not going to be saving a lot, but I'd like to save some of it. So I'm going to slap these bad boys in, I think it's one large. Okay. Yeah, so just like that. No, wrong one. Ah, you stinker. I thought you were still the vending machine. Dang. All right, we're back, and I was AFK for a little bit. I believe I showed this off. If not, let's go over it again. I'll just cut out the previous section if I didn't. So what we've got going on is our oil is coming from our oil vein, and look at how beautiful it is. It's just all lit up over there, just chilling. Coming into the distillery, and it is coming into this chemical reactor. And once it gets up to 1200, which is really close, so hopefully I'll be able to show you, the sulfuric light fuel will become regular light fuel right here. And I believe, oh, well, here we go. Let's see. There we go. We get hydrogen sulfide and an empty thingy. And then this pulls out the hydrogen and it goes into here. And we can see just how many cycles this has gone through by how much sulfur is in here. So we have 34 sulfur, so it's gone through 34 cycles. So that's 34 times 12 is a number. Okay, so that's 408 buckets worth. And so that means that, ooh, that's actually kind of rough. Are we using way more than we can't be, right? All right, now, I'm not sure why this happened, but it seems to have not liked this oil vein. So I'm going to actually move our vein a little bit because it won't. I tried to get it to come back down and it just sent it all the way back up. I'm not sure why. So I'm going to go find a different vein that I don't have to do any shenanigans with. Oi, oi, how dare you? Goodness. Some people. Okay, so I asked around and they said to go into my team, go into settings, and fake player level determines the level of membership a fake player will operate under, miners, pumps, harvesters, etc. I set it to member. And supposedly that's supposed to work. I realized the error of my ways when it came to making good circuits. I was doing the manual crafting with in here. Let's see if I can't find it. I'm not gonna be able to find it. But I was doing the annoying one when I should have been doing it instead with the circuit assembler. Right here. So it's 2 diodes, 2 electronic circuits, and the good circuit board. That's sad. So I've wasted quite a few of them, but I've also gotten a stack and 8 of our electronic circuits. And so I'm just getting ready to make more of the medium voltage tier stuff. So I forgot about this hole. That's unfortunate. Well, that's pretty cool. I hopped off because I was getting bored. And, well, I can't believe I forgot about that. All right. Okay, so it's a new day, and I was looking for the real Gar, and I noticed something, and I'll show you here in a second after I grab the key. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to grab my drawer key. Now, I did the thing where you can, you know, find it, and it's like, it's right here. I was like, what is all this stuff in here? So if we come down here, it's because the whole thing's full. So I'm going to take out all of the... There we go. All of the dust. Because we don't need dust in here. Oh, all right. So we've got... That's not what I was looking for. So if we come up here, and also we can look in here, we have some polyethylene. That's 10 buckets right there. And then over here, we have 4 large steel fluid cells with polyethylene. I don't remember what I needed the polyethylene for. That tends to be the case. I think it was mostly just for the Ender IO pipes. So, you know, that's pretty cool. I don't have a use for it anymore. But we need to actually set up our system for automatic thingy McBobber. Yeah, words are hard. So automatic processing, that's what I'm looking for. So we're going to set up automatic processing and hopefully it works. I forgot that this needs medium voltage for it to work. I don't think that we're going to do any medium voltage on the pot and pipes because it just saps up the entire thing. So when this bad boy is running, it cannot do anything over here. Like this just cannot run. So that's a bad idea. I don't think that that's worth it. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our pipe over here. Our what's the word I'm looking for? Our combustion pipe. And the other thing that we need to do, which reminds me, we need to actually make the steam furnace. One other thing that we need to actually make is an oil vein. Now, when I say, I guess you don't really make an oil vein, do you? But we need to make an oil drill. So that's different from our traditional drill that we use to get our current oil. We need the oil drilling rig. So let's see, it's in multi-blocks. Time to drill for oil. Okay, fluid drilling rig. There we go. So we need this, and it's all in medium voltage. So we are good to do this now. We need that. We need 8 of these, 15 of these, and then medium voltage energy hatch and maintenance. I'm hoping that we can get it in like our general chunk area. So cross your fingers. But all you got to do is scan on the bedrock layer, and then you have a chance of finding oil. If I can find natural gas, that would be epic though. I think natural gas is a little easier to work with. I don't know. That's just what I've seen. Okay, here we go. We got the steam oven, and the goal of this is to simply take all of our iron stuff and cook it up because we're kind of running low on iron. This is actually interesting because we can take our banded iron and we can centrifuge, or we can electrolyze it, and we can get oxygen. Now, I think that this is going to be one of our better ways of getting oxygen at the moment, because I just have so much of this stuff. Like, look at this. That's a good amount. All right, now one of the things that I've wanted to do ever since our first debacle of the explosion is actually get more gallium arsenide, because we need them for bullies. Sorry. Okay, this is why you look stuff up before you waste a bunch of resources on it. We're gonna do the... Oh wait, but that's... There we go. 8,400 and 8,400. But this one is... If I can find it. I think it's only 20... like 1,200, isn't it? 2,200. Yeah, so we're gonna do the vanadium steel one. So if we look at this, I think we need 3... We don't have like an actual way of making vanadium steel. Okay, so we've got iron chloride, or iron 3 chloride. So it was just hydrochloric acid, some iron, and empty cells. To get the hydrochloric acid, it's just simply, we go into here, it's just chlorine and hydrogen. So we can reuse our hydrogen and we can get back some of our resources, which is awesome. Love to see that. And I'm actually just going to do that because we won't have enough hydrogen or hydrochloric acid for the next set. Yeah, we can use them for good circuit boards, plastic circuit boards. Yeah, so it's 100 each. That's a good ROI. I really enjoy that. That is nice. And that is a quarter of the price of how it would be otherwise. And that's what I like to see. Okay, we've got our hydroxide and our sulfuric acid fuel, or cells. And we're just gonna make the bad boy. There we go, prospector scanner. Let's get that quest. Thank you. And now we need to go all the way down to bedrock. That's gonna be a pain, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna try to see if we can't find the corner, like the intersection between the 3 chunks right here. Okay. So we're going to do... I have a feeling I'm going to have to throw that in my dev null. So we're going to grab this. Is it because of that? Oh. Natural gas, natural gas. How good is natural gas? Ooh, okay. I just tried another one and we got a large oil sample. So that's actually really good. And this looks like, these two look like our biggest ones. Oh, there's a bunch of really big ones. Oh, this is awesome. And that's not super... All right, let's go /home. That's not super far away from base either. Like that's just right out here. Ooh, that's nice. All right, well, let's see what we can do. And there we are. Fluid drilling rig. So now we just need output hatch and solid steel machine casing. You can use an input bus. Okay, so, and this one has 174 liters of oil. What we might do is we might actually upgrade this system to a higher voltage version. All right, now after looking and wondering, so this started to deplete, and I was like, well, we should have enough. I looked down here, we have plenty. Look, we have so many. But then I actually looked in one of them, and oh, they're starting to empty. These were completely full. It's because I didn't set up this line back up before I disconnected it so I could actually make this little path, our little underground section. And so, yeah. So we're getting lots and lots of creosote back, and hopefully that should bring us back to the status quo. Right now, we're a little low. And so, I mean, it makes sense why this started to lose on resources as well. That would naturally happen. So, okay. Well, that's good. I'm just gonna try. We're just gonna do that. And then we'll void the rest of it. Honestly, right now, this is the one that needs to be voided. Because I need more spruce saplings coming into here, because we're running low. I think that we will get to the point where our ethylene just can't Like it just isn't keeping up. All right, I just got done trying to edit that previous section, so I'm just going to redo it because it didn't really make a lot of sense. So let's talk about everything that I've done. First of all, I upgraded this bad boy to a steam grinder of the steel variety. So it's a little bit more powerful. That just means that we're able to push more through it. That's going to be really important when we eventually get the steam purifier, probably soon. I don't know. Let's be honest. I haven't got a clue. But now let's talk about our last section that I've probably spent a few too many hours on, making sure that it all works correctly, because I have never done any fuel distillation at all. I mean, the closest we got was just taking oil, turning it into light fuel, and then saying, cool. And so what we've got here is similar to how it was before, but instead of just doing our light fuel, we are also converting everything into heavy fuel, or into diesel. So the way that we're doing that is we have a backlog of fuel right here. This has 138 buckets in it. And then we have a backlog of 2 of those of 12. So that's 24. And each one of these can hold 32. But this one is producing sulfuric light fuel. This one is producing sulfuric heavy fuel. And once this finishes, it comes into here. So it requires 8,000 sulfuric heavy fuel in order to do the regular heavy fuel. And then once it comes into here, this is a ratio of 5:1. So it will take 40 of these light fuel cells and mix them with 8 of these, and or it'll take 40 with 8 of these, and it will produce 6 per bucket of heavy fuel. And so if we look at the actual fuel combustion rate, so this has a 305, and then if we look at diesel, this has 480. So we're getting an extra 190-ish fuel, right? Let me double check that. So this is 305. It's like 170. It's like 175,000 EU per cell that we're getting. And we're not using our fuel like very fast at all. So if we look at this, it's pretty slow. And if we were to try to use something like natural gas, stuff like that, we would be going quite a bit slower. So this is honestly really nice. I'm super proud of the fact that I was able to figure this out, because I didn't look anything up. The only thing I did look up was, you know, I had another idea of what I should do, and it was pretty stupid now that I look at it. So I was taking steam and cracking it and then converting that into heavy fuel. And I mean, just look at it. We're losing so much of the fuel. It just didn't make any sense. And so I was doing that, and I was doing like a whole bunch of machines. And I was sitting here thinking, this is dumb. There's got to be a better way. And there was. And I just was too dumb to realize that, yeah, it's not that hard. So, and then we've got these, and all this is doing is pulling and switching with this one. So if we click right there, you can see extracted items will be inserted into basic machine mixer tier 2, and they can receive items from basic machine mixer tier 2. And I can do the same here. And with the electrolyzer, we can see we're receiving items from chemical reactor tier 2, chemical reactor tier 2, and it has their exact location, which is actually super cool to see. You know, if we're getting items in here that we don't want, we can see, well, where's our stuff? Like, where's our bottleneck at? And then this is just our sulfur. I am just keeping this so that I can kind of tell, you know, how much are we using? What's our general usage rate for all of this? But that's it for this. I think that this is going to last us until the end of medium voltage. And that's exactly what I want it to do. Now, once we are kind of done with medium voltage, if we come into here, we can do what's called cetane boosted diesel. Now this takes a lot of setup, but if we come here and we look at the combustion value, holy guacamole, it is 1 million EU per bucket. So if we, look at this and we say, okay, so diesel, we can use let me find it. So to make this, it's a big pain in the rear. So we're not going to do it anytime soon, but it's nitric acid, which is just nitrogen dioxide, which is just nitrogen and 2 oxygen with water, creates this. And then we use it with ethanol, which is just sulfuric acid, acetic acid, and acetic acid is ethylene and oxygen. So it's actually not that difficult to do. And one thing that I figured out is we can actually get ethylene as well from doing, what is it called? From distillation. I'm not going to, but that's always an option if we end up kind of not sure where to go. So that is just about it for this, but that's our plan. I don't think that we'll be doing the cetane until quite a bit later, until we really need to, because right now, I mean, look at this. It's so absurd. I'm okay with losing a little bit of fuel by just having this, and we're slowly, we're building up. So this is probably the best view to see how much we're using. We're using a bucket like every three minutes, something like that, which really isn't that bad. I'm not very concerned about that. And if the whole system, like if this whole system were to shut down, this would just stop consuming. Everything else in the base, nothing is really running. So this would just stop producing or stop consuming everything. So it's not that big of a deal. I'm not that worried about it. One thing that I do want to do is I need to ensure that we get our passive fuel and everything set up. So one other thing that I could have done is called a benzene. And I am not fond of the setup for benzene because it takes a lot of vats in order to do it. You can have your opinion, but I don't care to do it. So if we come over here and we can see, what do we need to do next? What do we need to do next? First of all, we need to get this stainless steel ingot. And to do that, I believe it is 8 of the advanced combustion generators, something like that. I'll have to double check, but it takes quite a few of them. I don't think it takes 8. I think it's just 4. And then we'll use this and we can get our stainless steel finally. And then once we do that, we can start working on getting canthal. Now, to get canthal, oh, you know what? We'll get there when we get there with canthal. I won't talk about it just yet. All right. So what I've been doing is I've just been setting up some automation, some basic automation, and you can tell that from, well, right here, I've moved. Let's talk about this first. Don't pay attention to that yet. We're going to talk about it. I moved this to a stronger vein, and if we look at it, perfect. So we're getting 103 rather than what we were before, which was, I think, 79 per tick or per operation. 103. But I am going to actually chunk load this one. So if we come right here, we can see both distilleries are now able to actually get fluid. And that's what we like to see. So it should start building up. It'll slowly deplete, but we can go back and we can find better sources. So let's actually talk about this. Whoa, look at that. So what this is just an automatic system for getting silicon solar grade polysi dust. So what we're doing is we are taking salt, turning it into chlorine, and then the chlorine gets mixed with silicon dust. This is where silicon dust would be. I need to lock this chest, or this drawer, so that it doesn't do anything. But it would go into here, and it will mix with this to make silicon chloride, I believe. I love that. Let's double check. Silicon tetrachloride. And then the silicon tetrachloride actually gets mixed with some sodium. The sodium is an output of the salt being electrolyzed. So if we look at this, when we electrolyze, we get 1 sodium. And when we do the sodium with the sodium tetrachloride, we get 8 salt, or silicon tetrachloride. We get 8 salt per thing, and it outputs the silicon, and we take the salt and we put it back into this chest, creating a loop. So I'm not worried about the speed of this, because this is slow as balls. It's super duper slow, but I'm not that worried about it because, well, this whole loop is just going to keep on going indefinitely. Now, there's one thing that I want to do, and that is figure out infinite silicon production, because silicon is going to be extremely important. What I'd like to do is automate that. Now, one thing, I'm going to pop up all of the requirements. So let me see if I can't find that. Okay, so these are all of the machines that I would need. The first is a basic rock breaker. What this does is it simply creates stone or cobblestone. Now, that is what I would want to do. And then we would take the cobblestone and we would throw it in a forge hammer, and we would get, there we go, we would get gravel. We take the gravel and we throw it in, I think we can throw it in a sifter, can we not? Yes, we throw it in the sifter, and we have a guaranteed chance for flint. The flint we then macerate in a macerator, and we get flint dust. It takes 2, as you can see, but there's a good chance that we can get more than 1 from each process. We'd probably have like 2 or 3 of these per macerator. I would guess 2, because the sifting process is extremely long. This might honestly just be a medium voltage line because it takes so long, but we would take the flint and we would centrifuge it into silicon dioxide dust. We take the silicon dioxide and we take magnesium and the silicon dioxide and we mix it. We get raw silicon and magnesia. Magnesia, I believe we can electrolyze, yes, into magnesia and magnesium dust. And we get oxygen as a byproduct. Oxygen being a byproduct is actually perfect because I have no oxygen production. So this would be absolutely stellar. That is exactly what I want. So that's just, that's what I'm thinking. And yeah, I think that is going to be my best bet for automating this whole process. I want this to just go infinitum. And then I also want to have a lot of silicon for all of our other dusts. So one other thing that I've been doing is if I come over to the EBF, whoa, I've got so much pulsating iron. Whoa. And then if we go over here, whoa, redstone alloy dust. Whoa, so much. So I've got a decent amount of this. I have been trying to make sure that this is all good, all nice and set up. I need to make more with the redstone alloy because I need to make more low voltage circuits because we have 1 left and I can't do this whole system unless I have the higher tier ones. So it's going to be super important. I need to actually use a forge hammer on this bad boy, but I think that my forge hammer got destroyed, which is not epic. So I'm not sure how we're going to do that. I'll probably just make a medium volt or a low voltage one just because, well, I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, so that is all of that. Oh, and then this I am also working on getting polyethylene, or not polyethylene, but I'm trying to get all of this automated. So I want, not automated, but I want more of them. So I'm trying to get the item circuits. I want to have a decent backlog so that whenever I'm working on something, it's not a big deal to connect everything. So like that, I have 2 sets of IO circuits. The reason I have this one is because I have a item filter, so it only will pick up the output of the who's its bucket, the silicon, or no, it will only pick up the salt instead of outputting or trying to take the silicon solar grade poly-Si dust. So that is the primary goal. And all of this is completely closed net. We shouldn't have to worry about anything coming into here that we don't want. I will upgrade. I will change this to being a standard chest, but for now, that's just how that's going to be. So yeah, this is our system. We have a backlog of chlorine, so we can use this for other stuff as well. That's one of the big things I really wanted to do, is make sure that we could use our chlorine for later stuff too. Because, well, the sodium, like, granted, I will run low on resources if I start taking out of here, because this is a closed loop. But having the ability to expand it later if I want, it's not a big deal. So I think I'm just gonna make the silicon production, and I will see y'all in a moment. I'm sure that I'm just gonna make these bad boys, and then I'll chat with you in a minute. All right. After, I don't know, a little too long being AFK, I have done it. Well, first of all, so I guess it's only been an hour. Almost 2. But we have a bunch of crystal shards. Look at that. Getting shards. Now I need diamond lenses, and I did a little something to make sure I could actually do it. And I'm going to lathe it. Perfect. And we're going to make another one so that I have an extra, because we're going to need it anyway. Let me not be next to that so it doesn't echo into the mic. That's a pain in the butt to edit out. Yeah, so we're going to do this bad boy. So I need some gold casing. Oof. Shucks. Oh, okay. I can do that. All right, we have everything that we need. So let's do it. Kind of upset that it's making so much noise. Boom. I think I hold it. You need to study tools. Study empty things. So like, I don't know, maybe just a standard chest? Need to study crystals. Okay, but I need to study empty things. What? I'm so confused. All right, let me... My guess is that I have to study an empty chest. Chest. There she is. Ah, that was it. All right. Study energy. How do how do I study energy? Study tools. Okay. Maybe like a torch? Ah. Clue to new research. Okay. So we're... Oh, perfect! You don't want to guess at what has what aspect, just want to get to work, then scan this stuff. The first set should be scanned in order. If any of them don't work, try scanning something else first, especially the third set. Okay. Oh, I need to unlock chest scanning. That's right. So black dye. Damn, we actually have quite a bit of black dye. All right, I'm gonna get the scribing tools and the table. Scribing tools. Yeah. Oh, actually, wait, I think I have... No, that's good. Okay, we have my scribing table. Now, I haven't got a freaking clue how any of this works, so this is gonna be a ride. And you know what? I think we're gonna save Thaumcraft for next episode. It's... I wanna do it right now, but we're just gonna save it for next episode. I do hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, please let me know. I always appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!